So I'm filling in for Tomeu. So he's got to catch a train. So I'm here to do his presentation for him. And we're covering the Vivante NPU driver. So it's what is it? So it's an accelerator for neural networks. So with the AI being so hot right now, like, you know, tons of people are doing it, but there's no really open source solution. So we Tomeu designed designed a Mesa delegate for TensorFlow Lite. And then basically it passes the description of the TensorFlow model down to the Gallium drivers. The Gallium drivers synthesize the necessary operations to run the convolutions from TensorFlow and then run those on the hardware units on some socks that are available. So the Vivante NPU, if you guys don't know, is a Verisilicon piece of IP. So the tensor operations are currently done on the CPU. There are tensor units, but they're not supported yet. They're going to be supported soon. Let's see. Yeah, so the other operations, so you have convolution operations which are done on the NPU right now, and then the tensor operations are done on the CPU so far, but that work is continuing. So we can run MobileNet v1 not in close to upstream Mesa with full accuracy for that resolution. So we're already 3 times faster than the CPU at around 34 milliseconds. And a lot of that is because of 21 milliseconds for the tensor operations. And then once Tomeu finishes the work on the tensor operations, that's going to drop down significantly to about 14 milliseconds, which is very close to what the proprietary blobs perform at. So, so in terms of upstream, there's patches that are still 2 small patches that are offset. Still a lot of cleaning need to do before the merge request into Mesa gets sent. And then from a short-term perspective, of work to do is the tensor operations that I just mentioned to cut down the time by 60, 70%. And then storing the immediate tensor results into SRAM. So there's a 1.5 megabyte of SRAM in the NPUs themselves. And then they drastically speed up operations, continuous operations. Also, you get a lot of zeros in these convolution matrix multiplies. So both compressing the zero weight, zero weight, sorry, I forgot the term, but the encoding for encoding multiple zeros at once. With that work and some skipping the zero multiplication works, you can get a lot of speed ups as well. So we should be able to get close to the blob's performance. And longer term work is the modern operations. So the NPU is relatively old, so it only supports certain convolution and tensor operations. And a lot of the newer models have other operations that cannot be supported via fixed function hardware. And then there is one programmable unit on the device that can be used to do these operations. And then also, right now, it's targeted as a TensorFlow delegate. So a future target would be an NHAL, which is directly used by PyTorch Mobile and ONNX2. And then that way, the NHAL would have a delegate to the TensorFlow Lite. And then MobileTorch can directly use the NHAL. So this work can be expanded to other NPUs, such as Qualcomm's Imagination, ARM. Like a lot of vendors are creating their own NPUs because like most of the operations are relatively simple from a hardware perspective. And also MediaTek, who's using Cadence, and probably Synopsys has some NPU that I don't know about. And then on OFTC, Tomeu has a channel, and then if you're interested in this work, you can find him either at the email below or on the IRC channel. And then finally, last but not least, we have a live demo. And then, so this is MobileNet v1 running on the board here with the NPU. So we finished in 39 milliseconds. So the CPU takes 100 milliseconds, so we're about 3 times faster. And then once the tensor work is done, that'll drop down to about 12, 13 milliseconds. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask offline. I'm not the best resource, but I can answer a few questions. And then Tomeu is a great resource for all this work. So thank you, guys.